Happy Monday and welcome to another Reflections video. I'm essentially going to talk about 4 things that happened in 4 days. Friday, I published the Art of Quilling Paper Jewellery book review and I shared that on Instagram, and that led to a nice share from Anne Martin, who's the actual author of the book. And she shared my channel to her stories, which was very exciting, very cool. It's led to a couple of more subscribers, so hello and welcome. On Saturday, I had my first interview with an artist, a quilling artist. We were talking for about 4 hours. We talked about a lot of her art and just the amazing things that she's done over the years. Apart from learning more about her and her art and her technique and everything, a really big thing I learned that I wasn't expecting is just to have a whole new appreciation of interviewers, like TV interviewers, podcast, radio. It's not easy. It's not just asking questions. There's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot of setup. I hired some sound equipment to make sure that the sound was really good. I had a couple of cameras, and even just setting up the shots, there's a lot that goes into it. I'm sort of used to it for myself, like, setting up this shot right now and getting the sound right and everything. But doing it for an interview, I've never done that before. That was intense. It was intense. I'm hoping to have that published in a couple of weeks. I don't want to give a date for it just because there's almost 2 hours worth of footage. I want to polish that and I want to do it justice, so I don't want to be rushing it. So it will come out, but I just don't know when yet. Sunday was quite a chill day. We had daylight savings click over Saturday night into Sunday, so we lost an hour. And it was a good day. It was starting to get quite hot. But today is Monday and it's a public holiday, which is fantastic. For what I actually want to talk about for this video, I did have an idea, and that was to talk about how you get good at a skill. And often that involves copying other people and imitating them and then building up till you get proficient. So I do want to talk about that at some point, but it just didn't feel right today. So instead, I have taken inspiration from the Vlogbrothers YouTube channel. So John Green and Hank Green, they've had their YouTube channel since 2007, so many, many years. But for the last 5 months, all of their video titles have been lyrics to Smash Mouth's All-Star song, which is a great song. Hank was talking about it today, or in his most recent video, and that challenge has finished. They have done 5 months worth of videos, and they have used every single lyric in Smash Mouth's All-Star song as a title for their videos throughout the last
5 months of using only titles that appear in Smash Mouth's All-Star. 5 months! And
Hank was saying how amazing it is that they finished, and his quote was,
"It means nothing, but regardless, we assigned value to it, and now I'm amazed."
It means nothing, but we assigned value to it. And a commenter in the comment section of that video quoted that and said that that's history of humanity in 9 words. And I thought that was really interesting, and it made me think about this channel. Basically, it's going to sound quite nihilistic, but kind of everything is meaningless, isn't it? Everything kind of doesn't have meaning, but everything does have meaning in a way. Meaning comes from what we assign to it. Their endeavour of having 5 months worth of videos that use titles of those videos as lyrics from a song is silly, but it was an achievement for them and they've finished it now. It has meaning to it. That's amazing. So it's kind of like this channel, making things out of paper. We don't need it to survive. It's just like a thing that we do. We assign meaning to it, and it's important for us. It's quite interesting that the idea for this YouTube channel came about in a similar way to the Vlogbrothers doing this lyrics from Smash Mouth songs. It came at the start of COVID, when we really started to realize that the world was changing.
We began this stupid idea on April 21st, 2020, a moment at which we were all kind of starting to get used to the idea that there was a big deal occurring and that our lives would be changed significantly for a long period of time. It has been nice to have the constancy of this meaningless endeavor throughout that somewhat difficult time. But John, we were excited about doing it for 2 reasons. First, Constraint is inspiring.
It was to do something that gave consistency and constraint. Having a constraint can be inspiring, and as Hank said,
adding constraints can actually really juice up the creative process. So while
having a constraint can juice up the creative process. And so working within certain bounds makes you think outside the box. Like if you have everything available to you, it changes how you approach something. Whereas if you only have a few things available to you, you have to try and make something work. And it, yeah, like he says, it juices up the creative process. And I suppose the other reason why I bring this up is one of the constraints that I've put on myself is to make these reflection videos each Monday. And because I had to come up with something to talk about today, even though I thought I had an idea and it just wasn't quite right, I came up with another idea, and it also links back to my very first reflections video where I was talking about the idea of breathing in and out and being inspired and expiring, being inspired by work, but then also producing your own work. So this idea came from the oatmeal, and he was saying if you do too much of either one, you'll be dead. You can't constantly breathe in, nor can you constantly breathe out. You have to have balance. You have to breathe in and out. And so it's interesting that I'm forcing myself to breathe in, and I'm forcing myself to be inspired and to also reflect in these Monday videos. And it just tied in perfectly. Earlier today, seeing this video from the Vlogbrothers, arguably meaningless endeavors, but we assign meaning to it and it becomes valuable. And I really like that idea. So anyway, for Friday's video, I am making this love heart emitting umbrella. So that's what you can look forward to. Yes, if you're watching this and it's a public holiday for you, hope you've had a good long weekend and I hope you're enjoying the longer days and daylight savings. And I will see you on Friday. Goodbye. And I realise I forgot to put the fairy lights on. Amateur. Here they are. Hope you enjoy it for these few seconds. Goodbye.